Did Cleveland Cavalier ever go across your mind?
At first, I tried to block out as much as I could, but at first, there was maybe a time, maybe in August, where I thought it was a possibility. But at that point, there was so much.
Is Donovan Mitchell giving a big heart attack to the Cavaliers as the Miami Heat and LA Lakers look on? As people close to the Cavaliers say, Donovan intends to leave the team during the next NBA season in order to establish himself with a different squad. Don't you feel like you should know more? Despite Cleveland's apparent lack of desire to try and transfer Mitchell, NBA source Mark Stein revealed last week that Miami had a bona fide interest in trying to trade for him. Everyone has only one question: is Donovan Mitchell leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers? All of this is happening before Mitchell becomes available to sign a maximum contract extension with the Cavaliers this summer, which could bring his annual salary to over $50 million. However, it's unclear if he'd want to do so. Cleveland's approach to considering a possible trade involving the star could alter based on Mitchell's position. Given that Mitchell is unquestionably their best player and that they're currently fourth in the Eastern Conference going into their schedule of games, it would seem illogical for them to investigate that possibility. This season, Mitchell's averages per game are 27.9 points, 5.7 assists, and 5.5 rebounds. The NBA player made a blockbuster trade with the Jazz to arrive in Cleveland in September 2022. In his first season there, he helped guide the Cavaliers to the postseason with a 51-31 record, but the Knicks crushed them in the first round. If the Cavaliers believe that injuries have already destroyed their prospects of winning the 2023-24 season, they may need to take that decision sooner rather than later in order to maximize Mitchell's trade value. Do you think the Cavaliers have a chance of winning the title? Any Cleveland playoff run may influence Mitchell's decision in the summer when he would be eligible to sign the maximum contract. Undoubtedly, Mitchell had a specific team in mind when he was dealt, and that was the Knicks. The Cavaliers must accept the possibility that a deep playoff run is no longer on the cards this season, with All-Star guard Darius Garland due to jaw fracture and 2022-23 All-Defensive First-Team member Evan Mobley due to arthroscopic surgery on his left knee, expected to miss at least 4 weeks apiece. Mobley's expected recovery time is 6 to 8 weeks. Donovan Mitchell, an All-NBA guard, has 2 years left in his deal before a player option enables him to explore unrestricted free agency in the summer of 2025. This has an impact on Mitchell's future. Nevertheless, the past is evident. It only makes sense to hold on to the star or add one for a walk year if there's a genuine opportunity to win a championship. That's a difficult one based on what the Cavaliers have shown us so far this season. Is Mitchell the correct selection for the Cavaliers to return next season? It would be unconventional for Cleveland to maintain Mitchell without one the next summer. Only 3 players have become unrestricted free agents in the last 2 free agency classes: Bradley Beal and James Harden in 2022, and Kyrie Irving in the previous summer within 2 years of making an All-NBA team. Compared to Mitchell, all 3 of those players were in very different circumstances. Beal had spent his whole playing career with the Washington Wizards, re-signing in free agency after signing 2 extensions when the team were better. Both Harden and Irving made the decision to re-sign after receiving trade demands and joining new teams at the prior deadline. Going back to the 2018-19 season is necessary to establish a more accurate comparison for Mitchell, since many teams had upcoming free agents who they know would look elsewhere at the end of the season. With 2 seasons remaining before hitting free agency, the Boston Celtics signed Irving, while the Toronto Raptors signed Kawhi Leonard, who was about to enter his walk year. The Golden State Warriors were defending 2 titles with former MVP Kevin Durant on the team, but his free agency hung over them. Every one of the 3 teams thought that they were championship candidates. The Raptors and Warriors advanced to the finals, where Leonard guided Toronto to a championship and won finals MVP before leaving for the LA Clippers in free agency. The Celtics collapsed against the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. During the offseason, Durant and Irving signed joint contracts with the Brooklyn Nets. As of right now, Mitchell is without a doubt the biggest player available for trade, which would heighten the competition among teams hoping to sign or extend him. What is the market for Donovan Mitchell? The Cavaliers' best argument for remaining patient would be the potential for a deal including Mitchell that would yield comparable value the following summer. Here are a few things to take into account. The Nets, Knicks, and Heat in particular belong to that category. However, because teams need to have space on their rosters to accommodate all the players they acquire, assembling a blockbuster deal in the middle of the season can be more difficult. With an available roster slot and 2 more players, Sam Merrill and Tristan Thompson, on non-guaranteed contracts, Cleveland should be able to overcome that obstacle. It's also unlikely that any team would need to piece together numerous contracts to equal Mitchell's $33.2 million star salary. With Evan Fournier's $18.2 million salary, New York almost reaches that mark. Brooklyn could employ Ben Simmons for $37.9 million or Spencer Dinwiddie for $20.4 million as a centerpiece. Miami has Tyler Herro for $27 million and Kyle Lowry for $29.7 million in that range. Given that Fournier's contract is functionally expiring because it's a team option, and Dinwiddie and Lowry have expiring contracts, it may be simpler to trade with these teams at this time, depending on the structure of the agreement. Teams are battling for Mitchell, but he hasn't yielded to any of them yet. His detractors claim that his market worth has dropped. Everyone is curious as to whether Mitchell will make a major move. What are your thoughts on his market value? The Heat and the Knicks share the same sentiment on their wish list to acquire Mitchell before the 2024 postseason. These clubs are in a position to directly qualify for the playoffs because they're both ahead of the Cavaliers in the East standings. Although neither club would be close to the favorite to emerge from the East in the conference, where two teams in Boston and Philadelphia have differentials of plus 9 ppg or greater, adding Mitchell may mean the difference between winning a round and losing it. The Nets, who are buried in the East play-in picture aside from Cleveland, probably have less of a hurry. However, any team that signed Mitchell now would have the entire offseason to reassemble the team around him, as the Phoenix Suns did when they added Durant from Brooklyn during the trade deadline last summer. NBA analysts claim that Donovan's departure from the Cavaliers is due to one individual. There have been whispers about Donovan joining the Miami Heat, and many believe that Dwayne Wade's presence is contributing to such talks. Has Donovan often discussed the impact former Miami Heat player Dwayne Wade had on him? Wade was the one who invited Mitchell to his camp for young NBA rookies in San Clemente, California after Mitchell's first season. Jimmy Butler was invited to add Mitchell, but he was hurt, so he came and just sat around talking trash. In addition to on-court basketball workouts, Wade's curriculum covered nutrition, appropriate weight training, business tactics, and media literacy. Mitchell was speechless. I knew D-Wade was an amazing player, but it was pretty dope to watch how he goes about things, said Mitchell. I left there thinking, that's what I want to do.
There was so much that could have been. There's always woulda, coulda, shoulda. So I tried to just, eliminate it. But it never. At that point in time when it happened, it was not on my radar at all. And then when it happened, obviously I was excited.
The LA Lakers are hoping to have their best season ever because they haven't played at their best in the last few. In order to win the NBA championship this upcoming season, are the Los Angeles Lakers interested in adding Donovan Mitchell to their team? Kobe Altman, general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers, reportedly instructed competing general managers to lose my number in reference to the Mitchell trade, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have stated that they intend to finish the season with Donovan Mitchell, but the player's name continues to surface in trade rumors as the deadline draws near. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, the Los Angeles Lakers are the latest team to reportedly show interest in Mitchell. The Lakers have talked internally about packaging 3 picks and players they already have on their roster to pursue a true star like Donovan Mitchell of the Cleveland Cavaliers or Trae Younger of the Atlanta Hawks, team sources told ESPN, according to a recent article by McMenamin. Do you believe Donovan Mitchell will be able to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers? Do share your opinions on this in the comments section. And for more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Until next time, goodbye.